So I'd like to, this one is related to my children. So it's hard, a very hard world to grow up in nowadays. But I would like my children to understand they have guardian angels, that they're being guided and supported. I'm just looking for some advice as to how to raise them in a spiritual way without sort of making them unacceptable in society. So how do you help a child grow up knowing they have guides and things like that?
Well, society is shifting very quickly. Your children are going to be pioneers of that new society. So we would not worry too much about this unacceptableness, because if you have a quick look at society in this now moment, you will find that having guides and being guided and being spiritual is the least of your problems. In fact, if many had that sort of understanding, then the unacceptable aspects of the behavior in your society would be diminished quite significantly. So allow your children to be weirdos. Allow people to make fun of them. Allow them to be examples to others, because they say things like, I know that I can trust my intuition. I know that I can trust my inspiration. I know that I can follow my joy and bliss. I know that I'm supported by the universe. These are all statements that, if said enough and loud enough on a playground, will be adopted by those who have their ears and eyes open to it, because they are statements that feel far better than you are a subject of this particular society and a victim to it. So yeah, that is the first step. Raise them as you feel through your heart, to raise them without fear. You will be surprised at how fast in the next coming years childhood itself even will change and shift and become something that is an example to you adults, because they are far wiser than you. Now, aside from that, it is a question of simply instilling the best values in your child or in your children and explaining to them that they've got this, that they are the masters of their creation and that they are the ones who are calling the shots. It does not need to be put into spiritual terms if that feels uncomfortable to you, or if that is not accepted by them or by what is around you. You can simply tell them that you know that they have something that is helping them to make the best decisions, that you are simply here as a spectator to the glory of their existence, and you will help them and you will help to make sure that they are safe in a physical level, but that you trust them completely to be able to use their judgment as their judgment comes online. Of course, you do not want them to be running off into traffic or to be making poor decisions for their safety, but that if they say to you, Mommy, I want to be an artist, or Mommy, I would love to be the next pioneer in this particular field, and you have nothing to do with that particular field, or you do not know anything about it, you simply say, well, I understand that whatever energy is coming through you is the best use and guide for you for your existence. And if they change their mind next week and they say, no, now I want to be a ballerina, well, then it is an experimentation that they are in. Had every single one of you been left to your own devices on a spiritual and emotional level as children, this world would be a very different place, but you were not. You were told that this world was what commanded you and not your inner beings. So raise them from that space of reference. Raise them from the idea that they have far more wisdom within you than society could ever impose upon them, and that you are in a period of revolution, that the more and more beings that have the understanding that they are the focal point of all of existence and can influence society and influence your human experiencing, the faster the changes that you have all been talking about wanting for such a long time, whether that be to your leadership, whether that be to your financial exchanges or your abundance, whether that be to your education, whether that be to your ability to interact with each other as brother and sister, will come to fruition far faster than it would if you choose to do things the way they have been done in the past. There is that definition of insanity, that is doing something the same way you did it before and expecting different results. You are no longer in a position as parents that you can do things the way that they were done in the past. Your children do need to be seen as those blessed weirdos for a period until everyone realizes that that system, that modality, that isness is the one that will save you all.